So what happens, for example, if I take a completely different side and problematic? I once started a project with a French student on a very dense block in the center of Paris, Opéra. Our goal was to achieve more public space without demolishing the existing buildings. We started creating entrances in the ground floor to make the courtyards public. What if I were to continue this project now using my tool? Navigating through my diagram, I bump on the node Goal Sustainability. This could become the answer to how to attract people inside of the courtyards while rejecting consumerism. The ground floors could host upcycling workshops and sensibilize participants to a conscious waste management. A second option would be to dive this time into the content of my nodes. For example, Walden 7 as a reference could play a completely different role for this Parisian project. Rather than the circulation, I could be inspired by the materiality, the density of the building and facade, the complex and fragmented geometry. A further possibility would be to create collisions or unexpected situations. Let's say I want to develop atmospherical situations on the ground floor. Now, if I decide I don't want the physical urban volumes to be determining in the way I make this operation, I would take out the link urban volumes. Then I could design a ground floor completely freely and discover whole new spatial qualities. The public space would only be determined by the necessary circulation to access the higher levels. This diagram is not to take too literally, but can help in different ways to open up my way of thinking about each project. It is like looking through a dynamic prism, which can create stimulating situations for the mind and should be used very intuitively as the way it was designed. I started my master thesis thinking about the role of digital tools in architecture, but left this topic aside to create this diagram. However, in addition to developing a self-analysis tool, my work has brought me further in these initial considerations. Through the focus I put on differentiating the emotional from the rational, it became clearer at which moment in time or in which operations the human's intuition played a more or less important role. In the future, if an artificial intelligence was trained to make architecture, I believe the human would punctually have to give his emotional and intuitive input, thus changing the role of the architect.